After a couple of hours of outage, perhaps one of its largest ever, WhatsApp seems to have now resumed working in several areas. Earlier, users were reporting disruptions from about little after noon India time. And similarly, users around the world were also seeing disruptions as well. WhatsApp issued a statement saying it was working to try and restore services as quickly as possible. Right now, while services seem to have resumed for some users, the indication seems to be that this is still not completely over yet. WhatsApp had said, we're aware that some people are currently having trouble. We're working to restore things as quickly as possible. Rubina Mongia joining us at this point with the latest on that. Rubina, has there been any kind of further statement from WhatsApp to the one we've already discussed?
Not that they're confirming right now internally of how long it took and everything else and what exactly went wrong. And I think after that they released a statement. It is the longest outage ever for WhatsApp, and now it is finally back and it's coming sporadically. It's coming, it's resuming and it's taking time.
Right. Jitin Jain also with us right now, a cybersecurity expert, to try and sort of shed more light on exactly what happened with WhatsApp. Now, Jitin, obviously this is something that's going to be a problem globally. 2 billion users, that's the sort of rough estimate of the number of people who actually are on the WhatsApp messaging platform. So many organizations, it's used for work, it's used for payments now in certain areas. So a crash of this nature that's sort of over 2 hours long, what kind of implications are we looking at?
No, of course, there are service and financial implications, but the question which is asked everywhere, is it some sort of hack or an attack, or is it some sort of disruption in service? I think, see, for any big company, usually these things don't happen because in case you have any problem with the new update or version, the company has full, rollback mechanism to shift to the previous version. There are, I think, multiple disaster recovery and backup mechanisms in place. But since WhatsApp was not able to either restore the build and or utilize the disaster and recovery backup mechanisms for almost 2 hours, it appears that there is likely some sort of attack or internal sabotage, and during which they were unable to use the disaster recovery mechanism.
Right. That's an interesting point that you're making, that, this is obviously some kind of significant problem that's either happened internally or perhaps even an internal hack. Why would you think the latter especially?
You see, even if it is, for WhatsApp to assume that it was down because of any DDoS attack or, some external factor, it is very highly unlikely because they've got robust, data centers and servers. But if there is an internal sabotage, then, it is very difficult to detect. And if it is a hack or an attack, it takes time to restore. But and suppose if they're launching a new version and something has gone wrong with the code, usually what happens is that you are able to roll back the new build, or you are able to restore to a backup state, or utilize if the data is lost or server has crashed, you have got multiple backup servers, which is called disaster recovery mechanism, and they are spread across the world. So in any case, you are able to, in a normal scenario, able to restore services within 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
But since it has not happened for 2 hours, it appears that there is either a sabotage or some sort of attack.
Right. I think really that time duration has surprised so many people. There have been WhatsApp outages in the past. There was a significant one last year also. But 2 hours would seem to suggest that this is perhaps something far more serious.
Of course, I think it appears that they were caught off guard and they were unable to figure out. Initially, it was thought that this thing was limited to a particular geography. But now it appears that multiple countries, I think almost everyone was facing across the world the WhatsApp outage for 2 hours. So there appears to be some sort of cascading effect that services went down first in some countries in Southern Asia, then it spread to Middle East and then to Europe also.
So Jitin, to get back to my earlier question, the ramifications of something like this and the spiraling effect of something like this, the rough estimate was, or the guesstimate, if we can call it that, was that, up until at least 2 years ago or so, 100 billion messages were sent every single day on WhatsApp. We're talking about entire organizations using it, governments using it, telecom service providers using it, and of course, people like you and me depending on WhatsApp for all our communications. So the fact that you sort of suddenly have communication of this nature coming to a grinding halt globally, this really seems quite unprecedented.
I think yes, apart from, personal messages which people have been sending and there is a disruption of service, I think we are so used to WhatsApp that our everyday lives gets affected. But I think the bigger issue would be with the business version of WhatsApp, where a lot of, ticket service providers, services, banks have been using WhatsApp for banking, ticket services and all. And their services would have been affected. So if somebody booked a ticket by using WhatsApp booking, they would not have been able to get tickets. WhatsApp banking would have been affected. So I think there will be a significant financial loss for WhatsApp also.
All right, significant financial losses as well. Right now, Jitin, what is your personal experience of the interface? Some users are saying that yes, it seems to be back, but back with some glitches. Has that been your experience also?
Yes, I mean, for me, it was working fine for a couple of minutes, and then there was again a delay, then started working again. I think they are in the process of restoring, and the services are not yet fully restored. But I think usually with these big companies, they would come up with a statement that we are holding an internal inquiry, we'll publish a white paper. But usually that report never comes out. And I think it is very highly unlikely that any company of this, repute and scale will admit to any attack or internal sabotage. Because if that happens, their share, prices gets affected in the market. They have to do a lot of compliances with the regulator. They have to disclose to the CERT in US. So I think usually it's a standard practice of these companies to put, anything which is like a hack or an attack under the brush and just move on.
Right. As always, Jitin, a lot of humor, a lot of ironic comments and memes on social media, and particularly the other messaging platforms seem to be making hay while the sun shines.
Well, I think a lot less this time because most of the memes usually are sent on WhatsApp because WhatsApp itself was down. I think other services would have been having a good time, and I'm sure a good market time and a good Diwali bonus are for Signal and Telegram.